Well, hello everyone. Wababam. Welcome to the stream. I've played about with things quite a lot. I did Raven's recommendations, so I can go boop, 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 all I want. And do stuff like this on the big screen. Ooh, if I don't drop them, and just go like, wahaha, on a big screen now. Which is much easier for everyone to see. Yes. Since yesterday, they've all been painted. And I just wanted to clarify one thing. Yesterday I said I thought the second load of Plague Marines were different. They weren't, they're actually identical. So I don't know if you can... Camera's not wanting to focus on the models. If I go like that. Come on, focus on the models. Come on, focus. If I go like that, then focus on the... No, it's still focusing on my face. Oh well. You can probably see they're identical. You know what? I could have just done it on this screen. Yes! Hello, Raven! Hey, KO! If we go back now... Oh, wrong one. Oh, oh. Right, so... all the models from issue 1 to 6 have now been built. And so we're going to paint it to the standard that it teaches you in the tutorials from 1 to 6, going through each tutorial. The one difference I'm going to do though is to save a wee bit of time. In the second tutorial, I'm going to act like I've got all 6 of the Plague Marines already and do all 6 at once. And just to save a wee bit of time and catch up when we get to issue number, like it was 5 or something, when we got the second load. If that said, we've got the one guy we've given the black already. The black already. So we're just going to do that to his 2 buddies. Plague, where's your honor? The Plague Marines! So got my wee... There we go. That's not right. There we go. Model holder. That should help things a wee bit. Let's put a wee bit of water on the brush. I have ours the honor, Sourfang. KO. Raven, I think you've been called. Gotta control the paint on this brush. Yeah. Now let's just pick out those black areas. Right, we'll start with the gun, that's big and obvious. And there's a lot of paint on my brush. I probably put a wee bit too much water on this. Yeah, there's way too much water. It's not wanting to cover this in one coat, but oh well. Have I got this on camera enough? I think, yeah, definitely. It's one thing I spent a few minutes working out, because last night was so last minute, I didn't have time to work out things. I like this setup a lot better, because I've got a lot more room, I can maneuver around, I can just get comfy instead of having to worry about if it's in camera, in frame or not. I think I'm getting about the right thickness now in the paint. It's nice and thin, but it's sort of going over it in one coat, which you'd hope for a black. On just a dark blue. So how's your tank going, KO? the Warlock that I've got that was going to be playing with him hopefully at some point. I was on last night just checking things out, relearning my skills because I've not played them in a good couple of years, and man, they've changed. I really like the changes. Good night. You're meant to be sleeping already. Right, bye.
Bye.
Right, off you go then.
That's all. You have to go to the bathroom.
Okay. We one needed the bathroom according to Raven. See, this is the bit I hate painting the most, is base coats. Because they take so goddamn long and they feel like you're getting nowhere fast. And nothing looks particularly that good. See a wee bit of the gun poking through there. I can always touch up his hands later on. A wee bit of the blue was shown through there, it started to dry a wee bit, so they'll just to touch it up there and then without waiting. And let's start getting these wee. See, there's one thing I don't like about this, is teaching you to paint these the opposite of the way I'd paint them. I'd do a black undercoat, then I'd do the blue on top, which, debatable, could be more time consuming because you've got more blue areas to paint, but you're not having to get into all these wee nooks and crannies. I feel that is just so much harder. Let's down here, like where these little sort of plasticky looking type bits are. Does that go all the way over? I think so. Well, it does now. I don't think it does actually, but it does in this guy. You could argue you could do these faster and just touch them up afterwards, but again, it is good practice. Hey Arno! Welcome back! Just to give you an update from last night, they are all built now, and I'm now going to paint them to the level and standards it says in the book. Let's get these wee bits back here. Probably should be sitting a wee bit closer, but oh well. Black in there. Just little touches, all those bits needed. Right, can you see the arm plasticky looking bits? Is that some there? I think it is. Yeah, that was some. There's just a touch there. Can't really see the belts covering up the wee bits here, but see again, this is why I'd do the black undercoat, then do the blue, because you wouldn't have to worry about these wee tiny bits. They'd be right automatically. And I suppose you could argue you could just ignore them, but then if people do look at it in big detail and fine detail, they'll like, oh, there's a bit there he's missed. In the back of that knee joint we need to get, which is hard to get because it's the gun's blocking my light. Right, just that little scanner to go now. Start this side. So you're putting the main colours now? Yeah, well, base coating it now. Which is weird because I've not undercoated it, but I'm doing it the way the books tell you and teach you. And it's just going against my every instinct so far. I'm just like, ah! Like, I put a black undercoat on it, then I'd do the blue, I wouldn't paint the black. It's just like complete opposite of the way I'd go about it. But I'm doing this to follow the book, so... Seeing you do this made me see if I could do something similar to do. Ah, you mean you want to sit back and see if you can paint at the same time? Or do you mean you want to try and do some sort of similar stream sometime? It's weird Kale wasn't a mod here. Well, at the moment I don't have access to my keyboard. So I can't really update that. And I agree, Raven, I just never really thought about it. I will make Kale a mod here when probably after stream if someone reminds me. Because at the moment I don't have access to my keyboard. See this big white thing over here? That's my keyboard. Because... see ya? See that stain there? That was glue yesterday. You didn't do anything. I said you're going to get to be a mod. Raven was saying that you should be one. I was like, yeah, I agree. So I'll make you one post-stream because I don't have access to my keyboard and stuff. I just find a fun war game, perhaps give it a try in painting, but it's an expensive hobby. It is an expensive hobby. Which reminds me, I don't think I've talked about this yet. I did some looking into, because remember how last night I was talking about how cost effective this magazine is if you're wanting to get into the hobby, or if you're an existing person in the hobby wanting to save some money on some models. Without the premium subscription, you save about £200 on models from this magazine. On the models alone. That's not including the paints, that's not including the other materials they're giving you. It's not including the paint brushes, it's not including the mats, it's not including the dice, which Arno, I did look into by the way, you get a lot more dice. You do get a lot more dice coming, especially with the premium one. It gives you some nice fancy red ones as well and some other stuff. So I could get the models you got for about 35. I take it that you're looking up the set I'm on about, Conquest. Yeah, with the premium, which is what I've got, not including all the extra goodies, not including the paints, not including the paint brushes, you're saving £140 on just the models. So yeah, that is... It's an expensive hobby, it's got a lot of startup costs. Yeah, but not available in the Netherlands. Ah, that's a pain. That is a pain. It is an expensive hobby, I must admit, to start up. But I probably spend about £150 to £200 on it a year, spread out. So it's not that expensive once you've actually got stuff. And I've got a hell of a lot. Most people don't spend anywhere near the amount I spend. I'm a wee bit bad. I've got about 400 boxes through in my bedroom that are sitting waiting to be painted, and about 5 armies worth of stuff sitting waiting there to be painted. So let's get this. That's why I call it plastic crack. Right, I don't see any other areas that should be black. Unless it's wanting the belt to be black. But that'll do it for now. Don't roll away, paintbrush. I don't like it when you roll away. Let's get you out. The starter sets are really good value as well, yeah. I've got the starter set as well to go with these guys, and it is an amazing starter set. Well worth the money. And you... So yeah, let's see now. Let's get in here. Alright, so it is meant to go all the way over up. I've got a bit on there, I'm going to have to touch that up at some point. Ah, this goes against every... Yeah. It just seems so counterproductive to me painting the black on. It's hard to get that in the light. You know, another thing, Arno, that might be a good idea for you is if the starter set, for example, say you don't like power armor. Like, the starter set is 2 power armor based armies, Plague Marines versus Ultramarines. If you don't like either of them, the start collecting sets are notoriously good value for money as well, and you can choose the faction you want. And I don't know what they are over there in the Netherlands, but they're about £50 here. Then you can get 25% off in some online retailers. I use a retailer called Triple Helix. They all take about 2 weeks to get here, but it's 25% off. So it's like, that's the most reliable discount that big I've found online. Oh, that's not sitting right. Come on. Oh. There we go. Nearly, there we go. Okay. So there, yeah, then that gives you the freedom to choose the army you want. Like, you like Tyranids? Get the Start Collecting Tyranids set. I think the Start Collecting Tyranids set, off the top of my head, comes with a Moloch or Trigon, depending on what you build it as. A unit of Gena Stealers. A unit of Gena Stealers. Gena Stealer Prime? What are they called? Is it just a Prime? I don't think it's a Prime. Oh, that's his hand! Damn it, I never seen his hand. Oh well, that can get touched up later. Just paint his hand black with it. Trying to think the other Start Collecting. So Start Collecting Eldar comes with a... Oh. There are no mistakes, there's just happy accidents, yep. Just happy accidents. To start collecting Eldar, you get a unit of Wraithguard. Like Raven. Oh, burn Raven. That's a Farseer, I think it is the character you get. Then I think it's a... Ooh, I can't remember off the top of my head now. I think it's a Wraith Lord you get. I've got the Start Collecting Necrons actually sitting somewhere nearby me, I can't remember where. And in it you got a unit of Necron Warriors, a unit of Immortals, the Command Barge or Annihilation Barge, depending on which way you build it, a Lord and an Overlord. Well, no, I think it's 2 Overlords. Because one comes with a barge. And if you build it as the command barge, he sits in it like a chariot. If I'm getting something, it needs to be for 2 players since I don't know anyone who plays, so I need something to have my wife to play. If I can persuade her, that is the job. That's like me and Raven, I'm constantly trying to persuade her. The starter set would be ideal for you then, yeah. You'd have the 2 armies. Trying to get in behind this. Yeah, a tiny bit more water. Sign up there. Lots of paint on the brush at the moment. Just use that to get. Oh, yeah. We've got the cracks at the back, we did. Ah! Let's get it. Ah! Missed it a wee bit there. Another bit that needs touched up. We'll go back at the end and touch up the blue. Aren't the tops of the bottles made to hold the paint so that you could thin? That was the old ones. These ones are more rounded. You see the tops now. Since that's what I was on about yesterday, I use a combination now of this little lip here that holds the paint. So I put the brush in there, stir it a wee bit with the wee bit of water on, then use this bit like your palette here, this little lip, to control the paint on your brush and make sure all the bristles are coming to a fine point. And that works well for me. Just sort of the way I've worked it up over the years of doing it. Aha. Just on either side of the crotch here, there's a bit black. It needs to be done. This would be so much simpler if they started off black instead of the blue, then you painted the blue on. But I suppose it'd be more time consuming for new people. I sort of see why they did it. It's more time consuming for everyone, but new people I suppose are wanting it done fast and easy. Right. That's the black done on them for now. Just making sure the bristles come to a fine point. I'm drying it out a wee bit with my fingers. No paint left on it, yep. Right, let me get a drink for a second. My birthday today, I got some gift cards, so I'm trying to find some fun to spend it on. Oh, happy birthday! Hey, book. Issue 3, issue 6. That's the poster, that's the board, issue 2. Issue 1. Second last. Put them back up there. Let me just see what it's asking you to paint next, because we're painting to this. We get there. Oh, I want you to paint the captain's hair black too. Then it's literally just the gold. I think the captain... I'm going to leave the captain's hair actually. Because I don't think it looks that great. Wait, did it want you to paint the eye lenses? Oh, it did. Okay. Then it's literally just the gold. Okay. Right, we're not completely done with the black then. We got the hair and the eye lenses to go. Which, actually, I'm going to see for the eye lenses, I'm going to switch to the smaller brush they gave us. See if I can get that to come all up. Yes! Well, I suppose that's a thank you, Raven. And congrats, Arno. You can now use my demented face as an emote. Yes. My emote is my face. Oh crap, I was just doing that, but I don't have my enter. Oh wait a minute, I can do it this way. There we go. I've been actually thinking about replacing that sometime. Come to a point. If I can't get this to a point, I might ask Raven to bring through one of my fine detail brushes. Come on. I'll try that. Green screen looks so smooth, huh? It's because I used the crocodile clips on each side, Raven. I should put this down so you can see what I'm doing. Right. Tiny bit of water. That wee bit of mix I was on about. Right, I'm going to hold it this way because the bristles are coming out on that side, so hopefully if I do it like that. Again, to see, this is definitely one thing I say. If they wanted the eye slits to be painted black, because he doesn't break it. This is one of the times I'd say definitely start off black, because then you wouldn't need to paint these eye slits, you just need to paint around it. But oh well, it says the opposite, so we're doing the opposite. I hate painting eye slits. But there we go, we did that one perfectly. See if you guys can see it. It's really hard to see because it's tiny. Concentration intensifying. Did I get that? I did not. Is that tiny? I definitely got it there. Such a tiny detail. And could have just avoided doing it. There we go. Job done. I don't think I'm going to get through all 6 tonight anyway, that's for sure. Parts. Yeah, this brush they supplied is pretty much useless. Yeah. Saves me going through and getting one of those fine detail ones now. Didn't do that one perfect, I messed up a wee bit. You can probably see he's got a tiny black bit on top, but that should be simple enough to touch up. One thing I've got is extremely unsteady hands. And I still do. You see there's a wee bit there. But that bit was easy just to get with my finger. Extremely unsteady hands. I've got some of the most unsteady hands in existence. And it just took years of practicing and trying to work out what works for me. And I just sort of now can, even though my hands are unsteady. One of the things I find the most helpful though, to keep my hands steady as possible, is have them always resting on something. If you're trying to paint like this, you're going to be moving a lot. So like my hands resting on the table, other hand resting, in you go. That's one of the things this is quite handy for. You can just rest your hands on each other. Like always have your hands resting firmly on something. And then put your weight down onto it and it really steadies you up a wee bit. Do I have any experience with the X-Wing game? I really enjoyed that X-Wing game. I've only played it about 5 times though, because next to no one wants to play it. At least in the area where I live. There's like a lot of people that really like Star Wars, but there's no one that's really got into the X-Wing. I'm painting that dude's hair now. I'm gonna get rid of this crap brush. But yeah, through in my bedroom, I've got a starter set of the X-Wing, and I've also got some expansions. And I was thinking about getting a second starter set to double up, because it was a good way to get those forces. That brush is starting to go back together. There might be some hope for it. Right, back to the brush I was using. Tiny bit of water, because there's water on there already. And I'm just going to do this like this for speed. Right. A bit too much water, I didn't control that enough. There we go, that's better. This dude's even got an ear. It's hard to see where the hair ends and the scalp and head and skin begin. I can see on this side easy enough. Paint needs to be a wee bit thicker. It's not one to cover. That is an easy pickup starter set. I think what the X-Wing it is. The X-Wing's one of the best starter sets for like a miniature game I've ever seen. Especially if you're not wanting to go through the hassle of building and painting your own models. You just want a game that's like a tabletop miniature game. I describe it as like halfway between a tabletop game and a board game. Because it is not like full-fledged tabletop wargaming, and it's not like full-fledged board game. It's sort of halfway between the two, X-Wing. Right. Buckland's... Where's the gold? Ah, here it is. This is metallic paint, so we're gonna have to give it a shake. A real good shake. I'm already feeling tempted just to throw these painting guides out the window and then just paint it the same way as I painted this guy. Well, it's half finished, but I really need to get up back and finish them. But yeah, but how many times can I say but? I said but a lot more than twice. It's gonna fine. That's a Raven invasion.
Whoa, what have you done in here?
What do you mean, what have I done?
Wow.
See, because you use the crocodile clips at each side, they stretch it slightly and level it all out.
It isn't for me. It doesn't for me.
The only reason I stopped doing them is because the chroma key was good enough to capture it with it not being straight. But with it tonight, if I just having it, the green background.
It looks good like that.
Right. Yeah, that looks like it's mixed enough. Yeah, that looks mixed enough. A bit of water on the brush. A wee bit of a stir. Thin it out a wee bit. Got a lot of paint on the brush, so let's... If you don't like the paint game, perhaps you can just use one for the effect to the guide and then do the rest the way you like. Yeah, but I don't like having one model. See, that's the thing, is when you've got an army, if one model looks different, I think it looks hideous. So I'm at least wanting to do them... Yeah, there is a way to remove, use Turp Spirit or something, but again, pain in the backside, I'm just going to complain, I'm not going to be happy no matter what I do. Just ignore me, I'm just being a moany baloney. I'm basically whinging because I'm not doing things my way, I'm doing it the way the tutorials say, but that's, you know.
I know it makes you weird because I'm not going to use Spartans, for instance.
Yeah. I just did him in the sky first.
Enjoy yourself, Argo. Happy birthday.
That was Raven just saying enjoy your sub and happy birthday if you didn't hear her.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear me at all.
That microphone does normally pick up everything in the room. So he probably can hear you. Then you do something wrong if you're never happy. It's human nature to complain. We've always got to moan about something. That's just being human.
That's true. Got whinge about some things, otherwise you just
Yeah.
feel like there's just pent up inside type thing. I complain.
Not about that, we've got to whinge because it makes us feel superior. You know what I mean? It's like, gotta have the heads big. You gotta whinge about something. We've got to like, look at the Neds down there, the slobs, the cretins of society. Yeah, Arnold saying he could hear you.
Okay. Hope you're having a good one, Arno.
Gotta touch that up a wee bit, but oh well. My hand's not been that steady tonight at all. Arnold says thanks again, Raven, if you're not still wandering about, not in chat. Now, that face was literally me going sunlight.
Okay. Also, you say yourself with icons. You want me to do it? I'm not the best artist out there, but
I won't stop you.
I could always try and work out something. I don't know. I'm not the best artist. I'm digital artist. I'm part of it, so drawing with my fingers a pen. That's why I've got some skill at it. I loved it.
There's way too much paint on that.
I'm more focused on other ventures. Alright, see you. I'll be good.
Mucked that up a wee bit right at the end, but oh well. This one's going to be a pain in the backside to get in here to get at his chest. That's too thin. Mix that up a bit to make it a little bit thicker. Now way too much paint on there. When it comes to tabletop games, there isn't really any Raven likes to play. There's more, if I'm really lucky, about once a year I can force her to play a tabletop game. But if you're wanting a game I would really recommend that isn't Warhammer and isn't Age of Sigmar or something like that, I would really recommend the Drop Fleet Commander or Drop Zone Commander. They're sort of two tie-in games. One's like the space, the ships fighting each other, and one's like the dropships dropping infantry and tanks on the ground and fighting. It is a smaller scale. And so it takes a wee bit, it's a wee bit harder to get used to than say Warhammer where it's a larger scale and you've got like a man's like that size. It's more like a tank's like that size, it's like half the size of a man. Board game, card game, any game. But it has the best value for money starter set I've ever seen. Because you get you get two half decent sized armies, you get a big paper mat to play on, and then you get about 8 or 9 buildings as well to play in, and you've basically got enough for your first about 5-10 games. Then you're just going to want to start adding new units to add variety. It also comes with a full rule book and everything. I'm starting to think I shouldn't have thinned this paint at all. It's not wanting to go over the blue at all. Boom, 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 boom. I think this is going to need 2 coats, to be honest, for the gold. Bet it doesn't say that in the book, though. Ah, screw it. I can touch it up later. Stop being all nice. Put it right in the back of there. Still too thin. Come on, thicken up a wee bit. That's nice. Alright, that's it going on now. It's awkward getting in behind this gun. So now we're paying about snap fit models, because normally I'd leave stuff like the guns off. And then paint and stick them on after. It's not as much an option with snap fit. It would have been with this guy, I think. There we go. That's him done. This guy's going to be a lot easier. Because he's pointing! He's pointy man! I hear Raven sniggering at son. Is there an eagle on both sides of the guns, or just one? No, just one and it's smaller. It's not a full eagle. There we go. I really hate working with this blue sort of thing they've done. And not having an undercoat. And that'll do, I'm not going to get right in underneath that shoulder. Now, if memory serves, at least for the old school Space Marines, maybe not necessarily the Primaris, the colour on the shoulder pads of an Ultramarine states what chapter he's from. Like the... not chapter, what did they call them? The first company? And gold was for the first company, which were all veterans. One of my favourites was, I think it was third. How many games my wife liked so far? Only got some luck with Love Letter, fun game with more players. There we go. Yeah, finding games to play with your wife is the most... is the hardest thing I've done my whole life. Especially with Raven being as fussy as she is. Ow, that was a big fudge up. That's going to be demand a touch up. Just over here. And then just the shoulder pads. Trying again. She just try games. Just doesn't seem to go back to them. I can't remember the last time I got to sit down and play Warhammer. Probably a couple of years back. She even has her own army sitting through there. She has some corn. A mix of corn demons and corn chaos space marines. Fudged up there. Oh well. Only takes a few seconds to touch up. Do not like this at all. Do not like these at all, the way it's getting you to paint them, but oh well. Right. Should I touch up now or should I jump onto week 2? Which I'm going to do the 6. I think I'll just do a quick touch up for now. Some of this blue. Shouldn't need a lot. Just for speed. Just take him. Right there. And some there. I'm going to paint some on these lines up here too. Yeah, I can see some needed there. Was this the guy that needed the black touch up? No, it was not. He needs a wee touch up there. There we go. That's all that blue touch up needing done. Right, let's take a look at you. There. Touch up here. Oh, some big touch up there. There we go. Don't see any more. See the one that needs the black touch up? No, he's not. Perfect. This guy now. Just a teeny bit there. Don't see any anywhere else. We'll get these bits up here where it was connected to the vents of the sprue. But this guy did need the black touch up. There we go. Much better. He's going to have to see. Now we need to take a look at issue 2. And you know what? Hey, Onikage! Have seen these figures? Reminds me of how the defunct place I used to visit and adventures in tabletop games. Sounds like a cool place. I'm almost tempted to, instead of moving on to the Plague Marines, just looking at it, and I'm gonna look for when it tells you to go back to those free Ultramarines next. And we're gonna get, because tonight we're already an hour in, I'm gonna see if I can get these three guys up to issue 6 in their quality. So, where's issue 2? Here's issue 2, right, I need you next. Let's see, does it tell us to go back and do anything on the Space Marines? Hey Jax, welcome to the stream! And I hope you enjoy your stay. So does issue 2 tell us to go back and paint? It does not. It just tells us to get the Plague Marines up to that point. So we don't need issue 2. Oh. That's the back page of issue 2 completely come off now. So I really could use that ring binder that they're meant to be sending out at some point. I can't remember what issue that's coming with. Right, 4 I'm going to need you in a second. Don't need the board, so let's put you on the floor. What issue are you? Issue 1, don't need you anymore, put you on the floor. Issue 6, I'll need you at some point. What issue are you? Issue 3, here we are. And you've got Lead Belcher, so I think we are going to go back. So let's put yours up there. Issue number 3. Now what does this tell us to do? Because it's Reavers and it's given us... This was the issue we got Lead Belcher with. So I think we're going to go back and do what it tells us to do for... Yeah. Right, it does look... See, it tells us to go back and paint the Lead Belcher on to the Specimens and the Pox Plague Marines. So it tells us to do it on the gun, his little artifact, the helmet, and some of the venti stuff. Okay. And then that looks like that's it just there, so that's what we're going to do now then. Right. Lead Belcher, metallic paint. I know a cooler place in Wales has a huge store that all the tabletop games and all the tables. It has all the things. Tell me where it is only so I can go move in. Because that sounds like an awesome place. Shake this metallic paint. Shake, shake, shake. That should be shaked enough. It looks like it is. Lovely. Wee bit of water on. Actually, I'm not going to do that yet. We're going to choose one of the dudes. Which one's the driest? I think you are. Could be wrong. Hope I'm not wrong. Right. Right. Mix that water in with it. Thin it out a wee bit. Just a wee bitty bit. I think I thinned it out too much again. Especially with this blue. So mix it all in with that stuff up there. Control the brush. There we go. Now I just want to paint the areas that are going to be a metallic colour. Like the clip of the gun. Should paint again, haven't done in a few months. It's called Firestorm Games. It's located in Cardiff. It's huge. Hey Jax, just so you know what I'm doing here, I don't know if you have it over there. I doubt it because it seems to be a Britain only. There's a new weekly magazine for Warhammer 40k. And you save an arm and a leg on just buying it weekly. You save a total at the end on models alone, like £200 on the models alone, and it gives you paints, it gives you like tons of other stuff. And so, as well as doing that though, it takes you by the hand and walks you through every week. It gives you another paint, you go back, repaint all the models it's given you already, and it sort of gets you slightly closer to an end sort of game, an end sort of product. I don't know any way to word that really, but you probably know what I mean. And so instead of painting it the way I want to paint and build them the way I want to build them, etc., I'm just following the tutorials and doing unboxings of them. And so far it is killing me to not be painting it the way I want to. It's more the time that I'm missing. Yeah. The time is a huge thing. Finding the time to sit down and paint is really hard. I can definitely feel that. The last weekend, I remember saying, right, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do a ton of painting. And I didn't manage to get any done until like the Sunday, and I managed to sit down for like 2 hours. But I was meant to do a lot more, and I was like, God damn it, I set so much time aside for it. Raven, I think you're being called, by the way. Raven? Raven, you're live through there. Why is Raven quiet? Oh wait, I hear movement, she's alive.
What?
You're being called.
What? By who?
By wee one. He's up.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I know, they're normally down by now.
It's because he keeps leaving the toilet. Water is drunk. Well, I don't mind him getting up for that.
So it's the toilet again he needs?
Yeah, that's it been the whole time. Like 4 times now. Still like him.
Should I do the scope as well?
Hi Oni, hi Jax. I just got the chat just before you called, so no, I don't have a video.
Okay.
Oni knows what I was watching.
I really can't wait for the next issue. Oni says hi Raven in the chat. And Jack says Ray-Ban.
Night-night, Daddy.
Night-night again, wee one. You should be sleeping. Bye-bye. But yeah, I really cannot wait for issue number 7. Because issue number 7 is where things start to actually look a bit better. Because at the moment, yeah, things aren't looking great. But issue number 7, you get a free tub of Afgrax Earthshade and a free tub of, I think it's Nuln Oil. And they're both washes. And washes and dry brushes are my godsend. It's my go-to. It is how you take something from looking alright and making it, well, it's how you take something just looking like you've coloured within the lines and you make it look like it's good. Makes it look like you've got a lot of skill, like you actually know what you're doing, just with a simple dry brush and a wash. So the next issue I get should be where it starts to get interesting for me. Just pick that bit out there, the wee bit pipe in there. Hi random wee one, get to bed. Lol. Might pick out the other side of the helmet. Just that wee bit there. Anything else in him that's going to be metallic? I think those spikes on his scanner should be metallic. Oh, missed. Oh no, that was actually alright. Actually not, then I went back and fudged it up. Oh well, we can touch it up again at some point. Alright, anything else that should be metallic? His little icon he's got down here. That should be metallic. I've seen icon, it's more like a little relic he's got on his leg here. There we go. How many issues will there be? There's 80 issues. Do you want me to get... Well, get the poster. I'm gonna get the poster again. I think I've done the metallic on this guy anyway now. Oh wait, I've still got the backpack to do. Oh well. Right. Now, let me get the poster. Just to show you all the stuff you get in 80 issues. Some of the models you get as well are exclusives to it. You can only get through the magazine. Whereas this guy I've got here, this lieutenant, who's pulling a power sword out his scabbard, that is an incredibly cool model as far as I'm concerned. We've never had like a guy walking forward, like literally like some enemies have just spawned and up in front of him. And he's like, let's do this. Pulling the sword out of the scabbard, pure confident strides. I think that is a really cool model, and I can't wait to get on to painting him. But yeah, right, down here. Right, I threw the poster down here already, didn't I? It's the mat. What's this? Is this issue 1 or just a poster? I think that's issue 1. Or is this the poster? No, this is the poster. Right. Let me swap. Boom. Like so. Boom. And I only have to half extend the poster. See that here? You get 2 armies and all that scenery. And then all those paints and all those brushes. Then if you do the premium, you get a ton of extra goodies on top. And you get dice and other stuff as well. The models alone, you're saving, without the premium, about £200, and with the premium about £140. Then obviously the premium, you're getting tons of other goodies on top. It is a really nice weekly magazine. Especially if you have no idea what you're going to do, because it takes you by the hand and has you painting, well, newbie tabletop quality models right from the get-go, and then hopefully by the end of the 80 magazines has you teaching you sort of mass sort of level tabletop models. Because that's one thing, you hear tabletop quality thrown around a lot, and it means different for everyone. Someone that's just got into the game, tabletop quality is basically really, really bad compared to, say, someone like me that's been in the hobby for years and years. My tabletop quality is, well, almost that. Oh wait, I should swap back. Boom. Yeah, like almost that. That's like my tabletop quality. Nearly. Slightly worse than that's my tabletop quality. But I suppose I'm a wee bit of a perfectionist as well, I must say. That's going to be Gilliman, by the way. The Primarch of the Ultramarines. Right, where'd I put the brush? If I can pick it up, that is. Right, what metallic had to be painted on the backpack? It wanted these things painted metallic, but I don't really like that. Maybe I'll just do it. Even then, I think I know what I'm doing. I'm going to differ from it slightly. Come on, paint pot. Right, we'll do this the old-fashioned way. And I should be thinning this, but oh well, we're just wanting it for a wee bit now. Now it stays open. I'm just going to do this big bit here. Too much paint on that brush. Just moving it around at the moment because I had too much on. There we go. And the other bit I'm going to do is this like grill here. So I'm not following it exactly, the bits it describes. Because I think the bits it describes looks a wee bit silly. Because it's on about doing these silver and then that silver, I'm like, eh. I hear Raven moving. Sounds like she's getting a drink. There you go. I think that'll do him for metallics. Yep. So we can see it's getting there. Like, for a new person, that would be tabletop quality, I suppose. What I think will really help him is when you get the flesh out. And then what's really going to help them all is when you get the washes out. I wonder if it's going to take you through dry brushing as well. I didn't see any specific dry brush paints. Right, a wee bit of water. Even if it doesn't take you through dry brushing isn't exactly the hardest thing to pick up. It's actually really simple, and it's something everyone that's going to be model painting really should pick up. There's too much paint on that. Start for larger surface area as well. Like the gun. Alright, so we're going to go up to this part. On this one. I probably said this earlier as well. This is the stage of painting I hate the most as well. When you're getting these base coats down. I hit a bit I wasn't meant to there. As I said, everything looks bad, everything looks silly, everything just looks sort of too solid, too cartoony. My hands are shaking like mad. Just gonna readjust so I can get something a bit more steady. I see a Raven. I really hope the books really should take you through highlighting as well. Because I'm just looking at this gun and going, I wish I had some Eshin Grey just to give that black a highlight. Make it look a wee bit less solid, a wee bit less cartoony. Because that is the point, that's the main reason I hate the base coats so much. When you're basing everything, it just so cartoony, so solid in colour. And this is the stage that I find it hardest to keep on painting. Because once you've done the base coat, you're doing the highlights, you're doing the dry brushing and the washes, and that's the stages I love. Because you just see the models, things start popping, things start looking cool. And it's at this stage, everything looks bad. So definitely if you are a newbie, and this is you just starting painting and you're using this set to teach you, don't worry if you're sitting there thinking, oh, things look shit right now. Like, and if you find the, because personally, as I'm sitting here doing this, I would definitely understand if you gobbled up what it teaches you in like the first few weeks and gone, right, I'm hungry for more. I'd definitely recommend hitting up some YouTube videos and just learning some basic techniques like dry brushing, highlighting, washes, and you'll see your painting skills just go through the roof. Because really that's all it. Painting skills is just mastering trying to keep your shaky hands steady. Then after that, just using the right technique at the right time with the right paints, and then everything starts looking good. There's not really as much skill in it as people think. Some techniques that I think look really cool as well as stuff like feathering, or using like a dry brush. Like one effect that I think is really cool is if you've got some fur, like say you're painting some space wolves and they've got like that sort of loincloth of fur thing going on down in front of them, you paint it black, then you use like a brown towards the bottom half, then you do a dry brush of white over the top. It sort of makes the brown and the black sort of merge, and they actually look, it doesn't look like it's just split in half with brown at the bottom, white, black at the top. It looks actually like fur, and it's hard to show without having sun here in front of me. But I think it's just an amazing little, almost a cheat. I'm guessing it's going to be the next issue, because the next issue is the Poxwalkers issue. I'm pretty sure that's where we got the Bugman's Glow. So it's probably going to be a go back and paint his face. Then I think that might be these guys up to date for now. Yeah, because I don't think they're going to use the Death Guard green. Get a tiny bit of water on there. I'm just really disappointed I don't have the wash. Way too much. Thicken that a wee bit. Now I've got way too much paint on the brush. And again, we'll go up to that line there. I think in the first one we did different than that. But a wee bit of variety is nice. I like variety. Oh, that's what I forgot to touch up. This guy's hand I painted over black. I forgot to touch that up. I'll do it. Getting any finer detail than that, when we go over it with a null oil, we'll sort of cover it up. Pipe in there. Job done. Let's get this bit at the back here. Let's give this guy, I was talking earlier about how I like variety. Let's do variety for this guy. We'll paint different bits of silver for this guy. Paint the bits that actually recommend you do silver. Right, Arno, thanks for being here. Your support is very much welcomed, and I hope you enjoyed your birthday. There we go. Right. That's us caught up with issue, was that 3? So let's check in with issue 4. See if issue 4 asks us to do anything to them. Right, issue 4, come to Daddy. Poxwalkers. I asked you to go back and paint the plague dudes. And I asked you to go back, Space Marine wise, I asked you to go back and paint the Reavers and the Sergeant's face. And that's it. So, issue 4. We just got the one guy to paint then if we're just doing the original 3. And it's with Bugman's Glow. I like Bugman's Glow. It's a nice paint. Great base coat for flesh. My flesh is normally just Bugman's Glow with Agrax Earthshade over the top. And then if I want a lot of detail in it, I'll sometimes do like a really light dry brush over the top of either like a really sort of pale white, like there's so much like sort of almost a transparent white so it doesn't cover up the flesh tone at all, or I'll go for like a tone similar to the old elf flesh. Are we one needing the toilet again? They normally never, ever get up once they're down, but tonight, I need the toilet, I need the toilet, I need the toilet. Took too much water off that.
It's like the most. Twice if you're lucky. 5 times? And he's actually been going.
So it's not like he's just pretending he's the toilet. It's too thin. I've got way too much paint on this. Right, we'll try that. Right, let's start off with his ear. Oh wow, way too much. It's too thin and there's way too much on, and I want a wee bit more control, so let's pop him in there. Right. Lift it up a wee bit. Right. Oh, when did I get some there? Yeah, just fresh enough that I could just get it off like that. That's how I did it. Because the angle I'm coming in at. Right, let's try coming in at an angle like this then. I probably should have swatched a finer detail brush than this. And it's going to look nasty because the paint is thinned out quite a bit. Because paint when it's thinned out looks like it's covering up more detail than it actually is. Especially when you've got that much in there. I'm going to have to try and take some of it away. Just move it around. There's next to no paint on the brush. So I'm mainly just moving around what I've already got there. Oh, by the time I get a wash over this, this face is really going to pop. It's a nice face. I'm giving up not catching that collar. Where's... there's where the hair stops. There's the ear. I need to get down to the chin. That is going to be a beautiful face when there's a wash on it. Right, but yeah, that's all it said to do in that issue. So that was issue 4. So let's see if issue 5 has anything in store for these models. That's issue 6. That's issue 5. That's issue 1. Down you go. Close them here. Let's just take a look at the back of issue 6, like I said before earlier. I just go bump. You see it there. The next issue, issue 7, non-oil. Oh, other side. Non-oil and Agrax Earthshade. Non-oil Agrax Earthshade. It does wonders for your models. It just gives them depth. It makes things pop. It is an amazing what a wash does. I think every model should have a wash and a dry brush, in my opinion. Every model. Right, issue number 5. I don't think this one gave us any new paint, so I doubt it's got any painting for... No, look, see, it's just got painting for that character model, because it's quite a big painting tutorial from what I see. So it's actually going into quite a lot of detail for him. Yeah, it says you're going to need every paint that you've got so far. So you even used the green. Where did you use the green? There it is. Saying use. I thought you'd be using the green on the not the foliage, but the laurels. But I don't remember seeing it in there, but it is there. Right, so nothing to paint for issue 5 for those 3. Issue 6. I don't think we got a new paint in this one either. Is there any painting in this one at all? No, issue 6 is all... Issue 6 is just all... Oh wait, there is a painting bit in issue 6. Ah! The issue 6 painting is literally just the parts from 2 and the later additions. So we've had all the painting guides that are in issue 6 again before, and it's just to take it up to there for the new, because you're doubling up the number of Plague Marines in this issue that you've got. So it's just literally, it's just if you just bought this one, you've got the painting guide for them all the way up to there. So yeah. Oh, I'm still on that one. Should we swap back? Boom, to this one. And now we can see this is the level it sort of should have took you to by issue 6. This is what your models will sort of look like by issue 6. Which, as I've been talking about this whole time, I cannot reinforce this enough. It has not taught you many techniques shit. It's basically just giving you the paints and saying practice and base coat. It is not doing anything fancy at all. But if you're playing your first ever games, there's enough detail there that you're not just going to look, that's a blue mess. You can see there. Especially the addition of the flesh on this guy really helps them pop a wee bit. So that's the sort of standard it will have you at by the end of issue 6. So what have we got? We've got half an hour left. Is there anything specific that anyone wants? Like, do they want me to start painting? Well, to be honest, I think we should start painting one of the Plague Marines. And get as much done in one Plague Marine as we can, just to give us as much variety in here as possible. Oh, hey, me humies, that's an Ultramarine if you ever seen one. Yes, they are Ultramarines. I never seen you sneak in there. Sorry, that was a late sort of comment. So yeah, by issue 6, you'll be painting to that sort of standard. And it's, don't panic time, it's... Literally, you're just base coating, you're doing some stuff, you're getting some washes in issue 7. Hopefully it's going to take you through dry brushing and highlighting in a later edition. I suppose wash is the easiest of the most advanced techniques because it's literally just slap on some paint. It literally slap on some paint and don't let it pull too much. There's nothing really to washes at all. So I'm not surprised that that's the first sort of and more advanced thing it's shown you, but again, not really more advanced, just... You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah. You're gonna need those things to really make the models cool and pop. And you're only on issue 6 out of 80. It's got a lot of painting techniques for it to teach you and a lot of going back. So yeah, with our last half hour, let's do a Plague Marine. Let's do this Plague Marine. So let's go back to issue 2. Actually, you know what? We're just going to go straight into issue 6, because issue 6 has it all. So I'm just going to go straight into issue 6, if I can pick this up. I put it on the floor, thinking I'm not going to need it. And what is the first thing issue 6 tells you to do in its painting guide? Because the issue 6 painting guide gives you the earlier painting guides as well. If I can find it. Right, there's the cutting out one. Each paint takes 30 minutes to do. I just realised something. It does tell you to base undercoat. I've not done it to any of them, but it does tell you to undercoat them. Paint your whole Plague Marine in Death Guard green. Apply the paint with brush strokes and make sure you do not miss any of the model. Once you finish, put the model aside to dry. Now, I really do not have time to do that because I want to start painting other stuff on top of it. And the green is the same colour, so I'm going to jump right in. But remember how I was saying it's not covering it properly, the plastic's weird. That is all now completely my fault, because I actually missed that. Because I'd just seen it, I thought it was just showing you the model, tell you to get the model ready. Now that I've actually read it, yeah, I'm even making up words now. Right, the first thing it's telling you to do is black. And it's black on those parts, so that's simple enough, so let's start doing the black. Let me get my brush back. So yes, it is completely my fault. It does tell you to do a base coat. I missed it. I just missed it in the instructions because I've been mainly, to be honest, I've just been looking at the pictures and going, right, I want you to paint that and that, and then I've not been reading it because I didn't feel I needed to read it. So a wee bit overconfidence, you could put that down to. So we'll just mix it up. Is this? Yeah, it's the black. It looked like it was blue for a second there. A wee bit too wet still. Pop the Death Guard in here. Mix that water in with the paint. Let's start off with this chainmail. Get all that chainmail black. You can see it's not wanting to cover it properly because I've not base coated it. There we go, it is now. Let's just get all this chainmail. We'll be touching them up later. Not too bothered about that, I just want to try and make sure I get all the chainmail, because I still want to shine through green. Come on, chainmail, paint black. Right, the blade was painted black also. I used to think it was. Yeah, the blade was painted. The blade was painted black, and then it was painted silver on top. Okay. I'm guessing they do the same with the chainmail. Because the metallic should go over the black easier. I actually think a really nice way of painting black, I mean metallic weapons and stuff, is if you just take a black undercoat and do a dry brush of Necron Compound or Lead Belcher over the top. And I think that's already, you've got yourself a really nice sort of metal there looking. Too much on that brush. Let's get that right up to the top. Right, what other black bits was there? Still cable here. The only problem I see is it tells you to do the metallic next. So it's assuming you've got time to let it dry. I don't really have time to do that, so I might chop and jump into the flesh after this instead. Come on, let's get this chainmail all done. And what parts of the gun does it actually paint black? The whole of the gun it paints black. Yeah, it just paints some of it as metallic. When we get the Lead Belcher. Another reason it tells you to do the black and then the metal straight after is because that's in the later, like a week down the line. You get the Lead Belcher a week after. I feel like the Nurglings are gonna, the Plague Marines are gonna look much better sooner. Is there anything else need to be black? I don't see it saying anything else with the black. Okay. So then it does say... Oh, it says actually not to go into that next. It says to retribute your armor, so the gold. Well, some parts of the gun are gold, which is weird, and it's going to be annoying. I'm going to have to leave that till last. Okay. Well, there is some black I mixed actually. I see it on that picture there, the backpack. Okay. It's just these pipes here. There. There. And there. There we go. Right, to retribute your armor. Tiny bit more water. Tiny bit more water. Let's start going over the areas that once gold, like these skulls. The front of the skull's like a sensor. You know, like that. Gives off incense, which I'm guessing is going to be plagued for this guy. Don't know what gives me that impression. We can see I'm getting that trouble with this gold again. This gold does really not want to go straight onto the plastic. But I've now since worked out that that was my fault completely. Because I didn't read the instructions. I just looked at the pictures and thought I was following the instructions exactly. Too much paint on this side. That's better. Which is probably one of the reasons why I'm probably going to need to do multiple coats of some of the stuff like the gold. But it's my own silly fault. Right. Shoulder pads next. Let's do them next. I much prefer these types of shoulder pads with the much bigger area for the trim. Got a bit there I need to touch up. And that sort of fleshy bit sort of goes over it. Oop, nearly dropped the paintbrush there. Another bit I need to touch up there. I'll do that now. Need to get as far on with this model as I can to show you what the Plague Marines will be like after 6 issues. There's a lot more gold on these guys than you'd think initially. I'm trying to get it done fast because I know we're starting to run out of time. Very late, Raven. I need to be sorry. I don't know if you heard that, but she said sorry from the other room. I was just saying the guy went to bed like quite a long time ago. I don't think he's ever going to get that message. Raven, I think you're being called again, to be honest. What is with them tonight? Wonder if... I don't remember giving them a different drink than normal that could possibly make them want the toilet this much. Raven! Raven! Sounds like she's in a call or something. I'll be right back then. Which is this one? Right, nope, not that one. This one. Right back. Boom. Some up. So that bit there is gold. And then it goes onto the silver. I'll leave that one up there actually. With that like that, so I can don't lose my page. Right. A tiny bit of water. Sounds like he did need the toilet again. Man, that boy can pee tonight. Need to get this skull back here. Ah, oh, there's not a bit of a lip there. Not as much gold decoration on his butt. Oh, there is some on that glove. Which I never noticed. It's really small though. The This is actually a really nice model. I need to touch that a bit up. It is on this side too, just as I checked. Right, just that little decoration, whatever it is, on this knee. Looks like it's a big fly. I think that's all the gold. Oh, we missed that little bit on the gun. Which again I think's a fly. Should be dry by now. Right, happy days. Raven died. Let's dry that off. Right, next it wants us to go to the silver. Take a look. Silver gun there, then flesh. Simple enough. So silver, then flesh. And I think we're going to go a wee bit over tonight, just so I can show you the Plague Death Guard guy at the level you will be after 6 weeks. Then off camera I can get them all sort of ready. Then I don't know if I'll probably continue this in my streams next week. I'm having a lot of fun. If we get the next issue. And I'll get them all up to issue 6 for next week. Right. To be honest, I'm just... Yeah, I'll do it the way it says. I was going to just lightly do it over the chainmail to get that sort of... Not quite a dry brush effect, but similar. Yeah, thank you, Oni! I just hope I get issue 7 for next week. If I don't get issue 7, I might just go back to painting my Necrons. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Because so far the issues seem to be coming in batches. I don't seem to get them weekly. Like I got 2 in the first load. Then I got the next 4 on 1. This bit's been a pain because there's quite a lot of really raised surfaces. Oh, there's a fly there that was probably meant to be gold, but oh well, that one's been silver. Alright, we'll get the chainmail here next. Yeah, next week's part, as I said, is exciting for me. Raven just admitted she doesn't support your YouTube. Raven! That's mean! Oni, go slap her. I can just hear her shouting from the other room. I did not. Right, let's do the knife. He's lying. I'm guessing he's taking your words out of context and manipulating them like he normally does. That would be my guess. Would I do something like that? Yes, you would, Kale. That's not what I meant. Yep. As I thought. We'll leave the hilt black. I think it said to do it all silver. I'm gonna leave the hilt black. I said I could be fucked finding a video on Sparta's channel because of the thousands of videos, but I'd look for it. Oh, you're looking for the video Warrior Sparta made about me, about the model I painted for him.
Back from the dead.
4 kill. We're very close to time. I'm going to go slightly over because we've only got the flesh, a wee bit more metallic and flesh to go. Then you'll be able to see the 6 weeks what it'd be like.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop.
Apparently we're all invited to go fucking mental.
Are you ready?
I'm not sure what parts of the gun it said to do, but I'm definitely sure it meant this bit there, which I've not coloured in the bits underneath on purpose.
We're back from the dead.
I'm trying to think what other bits would look good silver. There's that little bit there. There.
We're back from the dead.
Just add some variety to it. There we go. Ah, I've just noticed a bit on the head. It's a bit, tiny bit of cable, which should probably be silver. It's not had the black undercoat, but oh well. We had those cables in the back too. Get out the tops of them. I'm cheating a wee bit. This is the second time I cheated a wee bit, but it's not going to be a noticeable, vast improvement to the model. Doing things a wee bit more than it's taught you. Just a tiny bit. Like not picking out the whole bit and leaving some black. Couldn't resist. Right, so now we'll do the flesh on this dude.
Back from the dead.
Right, let's start with the stomach bit section. They wanted this all to be flesh. To be honest, I'd be doing the teeth white and then giving them like a rot effect probably if that was me, but still. It's not giving you that much details yet. This is just for now, flesh it.
We're back from the dead.
We're back from the dead, apparently. It's hard to get in amongst all these teeth. To be honest, I probably wouldn't. I'd paint it black, pick them out in white, then make them look rotten.
Back from the dead.
But I probably would do the bit around fleshy and ugly and horrible. Which looks like that's the direction it's going to take us. There's a tentacle coming down here. Paint up. Right, we've got this growth coming out of his shoulder. We're going to pick out now. It's only when you start adding the flesh do you realise just how horrible Plague Marines truly are. It is glorious. You start really appreciating how disgusting these models are. You're like, oh, that's his flesh coming out of his armor? Yep. There's a tentacle on this gun as well, holding the gun for him. Some more tentacle there. Yeah, wash on this is just really going to make it pop and makes those areas start looking good, because at the moment they're just too basic. There's nothing's popping, it's just colouring within the lines, really. Paint his face. My word, this song is horrible. They did do a really good job on the Plague Marines, yeah. They are incredibly cool, the Plague Marines. They nailed them to the T. But yes, I think that's it. Right, first things first, always clean your brush. There we go, nice and clean. To a point. Let's double check that I've not missed anything in the tutorial again. Right, the metallics, then paint the flesh. I have missed quite a few bits actually. As I'm looking at it here, there's quite a few tentacles I didn't even notice. Should we go back and get them? Yeah, why not? It'll only take a second. Then I know I've not missed anything. There's still a wee bit. The brush is damp, that'll be enough. That'll be enough, just quickly. Right, there's actually a wee bit of a tentacle coming out from under his leg there that I missed. Same on this side, the tentacle coming out here. Right, that's them got them. And on this side he's got one coming out from each side of his foot as well. See it there. I wonder if it's going to take you through basing as well, and if it's going to give you any basing materials. Oh, I forgot about the metallic on the back too. See it there between the legs. Oh well, that's not going to really change much for you. Then there was, there it is. I see it. This little bulge here. So we spot of flesh poking through the armor, and there's a tentacle there that I missed as well. And so yes, there we go. Clean my brush again. So, by issue 6 of Warhammer Conquest, your models are going to be at a very sort of basic level, sort of like this. If I move this closer so it focuses better. Or this. So yeah. You're going to be about this level by issue 6. This is just following the tutorials in it. And I pray to the end. I hope it does take you all the way to this. I hope it does by the end take you all the way to this sort of level. Which I really need to get my foot and ram it up my backside to finish off this model. I really, because he's going to have a big huge flaming sword and then his gauntlet coming down here in his head. That model is just going to look so sweet when it's finished. I really need to get my foot, ram it right up the backside and finish it off. But yeah. Right, the plan then, I suppose while we're here, we'll talk about where we're going to go from here. If I put him up there. The plan is, hopefully, I'll have issue 7 by the time I go to stream next Thursday. If I do not have issue 7, I'm going to go back to painting my Necrons. And hopefully by next week as well, I'll have all the models and all the issues from the Reavers to the Plague Walkers, the Pox Walkers I think they're called, and to the Unique Lieutenant. I'll have them all painted hopefully up to issue 6. And so when we get issue 7, which does it tell you what models you get in issue 7? Does it tell you? This is space. The making of a Space Marine, apply the shades to your models, expand the rules of your games. It doesn't actually tell you what models, or if you get models, you might just get the 2 paints. But it shows you the week after you get in the Primer of Space Marine. Because this is issue 6. Yeah, I don't think you get a model. Because it goes Space Marine Nurgle, Space Marine Nurgle. I think next week you just get the 2 paints. And maybe some other goodies with it. I don't think you get models next week. So it's more of a catch-up, paint everything week. So hopefully I'll have that by next Thursday. And if I do, hopefully I've had time to paint these all to issue level 6. And then we can then go in and apply the Agrax Earthshade and non-oil to them all, and you'll get to see just how much that really improves and makes a model pop. Which then, if you got a dry brush on them as well, and you got a few wee highlights in there, would take it to literally that level. As long as it's got, well, they'd need a few more wee fine details, but yeah. It's not actually that far away as it looks, because as I've been saying, the base coating is the bit that is the pain in the backside. It is the bit that is horrible. It's the bit that takes forever. And it's the bit that you always lose your sort of morale. You're kind of like, oh, I'm bored of this. The model still looks shit. And it's, yeah, it's once you get past the base coating, that's when all the magic happens. That's when all the magic happens. So, I hope everyone has enjoyed this, whether you be watching it straight up live on the Twitch, or you have been watching on the YouTube at a later date. I shall see you all the next time. Bye. Thanks for all being here. Your support is all awesome. Bye.